That's right. Some people said they were just driving through the area when the shooting happened, while others were here and watched the entire shooting unfold.
When we were coming by, there was probably 8-10 police cars from all directions that were going towards the McDonald's, and wasn't sure really what it was.
While Mickey Remines caught the beginning, Barthany Bodenstaff saw it all.
It's a scary day. It really is. I mean, you don't expect this every day.
Bodenstaff says he was with his wife in the McDonald's drive-thru at the time of the shooting.
Scared, really scared. Where do you go when you're sitting in the middle of the drive-thru?
It was around 10:45 this morning that Bodenstaff says he saw several cop cars pull up to the scene and stop near a Ride KC bus.
3 cops were trying to calm the guy down. The supervisor of the Metro was trying to calm him down. Next thing we hear pop, pop, 3 or 4 gunshots. See him running backwards, shooting at the bus and the cops, and they returned fire.
In total, Bodenstaff says he heard around a dozen shots fired. The Missouri Highway Patrol is investigating the shooting and says an officer, bus driver, and 1 man were all shot and injured. Other people in the area, like Remines, say they were shocked by what happened.
Well, I have my son with me, but I'm not afraid to bring him over here. This isn't an everyday thing here, not that I see anyway.
Bodenstaff said that one of the scariest parts of the day was being in that McDonald's drive-thru. He said he was boxed in by several cars and unable to get away from the scene. Reporting live in Kansas City, Mackenzie Nelson, 41 Action News.
And right now we're joined by Kansas City, Missouri Mayor Quinton Lucas, who joins us now via phone.
You know, Mayor Lucas, it feels like right now this is a city in crisis.
I think that's fair. Look, this has been one of the more tragic weeks in Kansas City I can remember. You buried a 4-year-old child, or are burying a 4-year-old child. You have multiple minors shot, and then in one day you have 2 police officers shot. One sounds very critical right now, and so I'm praying for the officer's family. This, I think, if anything, shows us the magnitude of the problems that we have in Kansas City and how urgent our solutions need to be.
Mr. Mayor, let's talk a bit about those solutions if we can. I saw about an hour ago you took to Twitter, talked about how tough a day this is for the men and women of the KCPD police force. What do you see the role of the mayor is right now?
Well, look, I'm a police commissioner, and so I've taken a lead in a few different things. We've talked about a lot of accountability and reform lately, and that's important. That'll continue to be important. But I think another part of it is how do we make sure that we're enforcing the laws we have? How do we make sure that people who are engaged with gunplay, to the extent that so many in our community are, know that there will be repercussions for what they're doing? And so that's probably the next phase of what we have to do. Here's the deal. The police are an essential part of keeping our community safe, keeping our community with some level of order. I will always support them in a situation where they're interrupting a robbery or trying to make sure people on a bus are safe. And today we saw what goes wrong when we have folks with firearms that are operating with impunity, whether it be a bus or shooting high-powered firearms at officers off of Van Brunt. There's much for us to do. It'll involve us talking not just to our state leadership, but plan to call the governor tonight. It'll also require us, prosecutor, police chief, others, to work together to make sure that we don't continue to see these types of offenses in Kansas City.
Mayor Lucas, how do you begin to give the remaining officers, those who are out really policing our community right now, that sense of safety and hope? And really, how do you give that same hope to the community as well?
It's a tough time for them, and I understand that. And I understand that probably for greater than a month it's been a tough time for them. You know, I think one thing we say is this. First, we will do everything we can to make sure that the assailant or assailants in connection with this situation face justice. I think the next thing we do is we say that we make sure they have every resource necessary to try to be ready to fight crime, but also to be able to protect themselves. And then the other thing we do is we show that we have a commitment to public safety as a preeminent issue in this community. This can't be a side thing. This can't be something that we look away from. And for whatever reason, God has seen fit to make it so that in 2020 we not only deal with the pandemic, but we look at the ongoing epidemic of violent crime in Kansas City, and hopefully in 2020 we say this is enough. I mean, my God, right? 2 officers shot, kids shot, people dying left and right, breaking homicide records. Looks like we're going to smash one. You know, this isn't the city anybody wants to live in. And so, you know, we need to redouble those efforts and, frankly, maybe not talk about anything else.
Kansas City Mayor Quinton Lucas, thank you for joining us tonight.